because she was really annoying. Imagine being in your 30s and stumping around your house around your spouse in heels, just making hella noise, just stumping around like a little kid. Imagine
being together with somebody since I was 14. Sounds like a horror story, right? This is probably what he was going through, right?
And talking about, well, I wanted to divorce. If you wanted to leave that bad, you could have packed up your stuff and left. But you decided to stay.
Hey you guys, welcome to the Josiah Genesis column. Today we're getting into some things. If you're not familiar with Desmond and Kristy, I think they started on YouTube first, but then they landed on TikTok. They have a really big platform. They have millions of followers. Share their family, their relationship publicly online for years. The news about Desmond and Kristy split had the internet in shambles, and today we're gonna get into some of their tea. I'm not a big fan of Kristy and Desmond. I do have TikTok like all of you guys, so I have seen a lot of their content over the past years. I would have never thought that they would have had a scandal like cheating, allegedly. Actually, it's kind of not alleged because it kind of came out and confirmed things in his statement. I'm seeing a lot more public support for Desmond than Kristy, as if she's the one who wasn't cheated on. We're going to be reacting to what people had to say.
So Desmond has officially posted to his story making a statement in regards to the divorce that's happening due to his infidelity. And yes, if this is news to you, Kristy and Desmond are getting a divorce because Desmond cheated. Now let's read this statement. He says, I want to begin by apologizing to Kristy, our family, and everyone who has been impacted by the public attention surrounding this situation. I know this news has been disappointing for many, and I'm truly sorry for the hurt it has caused. Kristy is the mother of my children and will always come first. I remain fully committed to being an active parent and a loving parent to our boys, as I have always been. Kristy and I faced challenges and made sincere efforts to...
Did anyone question his parenting? I feel like that didn't have to be addressed in like the public apology. It's not the problem at hand. The problem at hand is the fact that you cheated. Let's address that. And then,
work through them. Toward the end of 2025, I wanted to separate, and I had conversations with Kristy regarding this. During this period, I made choices that I am not proud of. I took responsibility for these actions. I shared this with her directly and personally, and ultimately, we decided to divorce. I asked for privacy and compassion as we navigate.
I told her I wanted to divorce. I told her I wanted to separate. Now look, please give me privacy after I just had publicly embarrassed my wife. Please stay out of my business. Please give me privacy. It's like after you do something like that, there's no fucking privacy.
This difficult chapter of our lives. He then ends it by saying, thank you to everyone who has supported us over the years. I'm grateful for that support and will continue sharing my love for cooking and things that inspire me. I hope you'll continue that journey with me. So he's basically saying he asked for the divorce first. So he wanted to, I guess, be separated. And then during that separation period, he ended up cheating on her. And then that led to her officially, I guess, agreeing to the separation as well. Either way, this is just sad. And it makes me disappointed and sad for their boys, but at the end of the day, they both are great parents. And like Desmond said, he's a great...
Ending a quote-unquote apology to your wife with personal branding is definitely a choice. The apology just doesn't seem sincere. Don't worry about this, but look out for that cooking content though. How fucking embarrassing for her.
It is really bothering me that a lot of people are not talking about the fact that Kristy and Desmond were essentially together for half of their life. They met when they were 14, got married at 18, and now in their early 30s they're getting a divorce, right? That means for half of their life was about this couple and being with each other. That tells me that they did not get a chance to really live life without each other, right? Which makes sense to why he decided to cheat. I'm a 23-year-old right now. Being together with somebody since I was 14 sounds like a horror story, right? This is probably what he was going through, right? I'm not defending his choice in cheating, but I'm saying that's probably why he did what he did. Right? When I heard the years...
Nobody was holding people to this man's head. These are all decisions that as a grown man, he decided to make. He decided to get married. He decided to have kids. He decided to stay in a relationship with someone since he was 14. None of this was forced upon him. Like, we're making excuses for overly grown man. Like, come on, let's be real. He's holding you hostage. I'm pretty sure he liked the money that she was bringing in. That they were bringing in. That's probably why he stayed. That's the real tea.
That they were together, and then hearing that he cheated, I was like, well, that just adds up to me, right? This is so funny to me because a few days ago I saw a TikTok of somebody saying that people who are in long-term relationships from a young age are stunted. And I couldn't agree more with that statement, right? Because when you are in a relationship from a young age, from 14 to 30 something, that means that you didn't get a chance of starting a relationship, breaking up, rebounding, having a era, right? Getting to play the field, seeing what you really like, what you really want. Like having a one night stand, a pregnancy scare, you know, breaking up, getting back together, having those kind of dynamics. They never got to learn about that, right? This is why I don't like the idea of getting married so young. I'm so sorry. 18 and being married, mind you, you were in a long term relationship at the age of 18. What? It's crazy to me. I just can't think of that. I can't know. So let's be for real. I feel like men are a lot more encouraged, you know, be out in the streets and, you know, discover that side of them, you know, be a little bit more promiscuous compared to women. Then there is the whole religious aspect of it as well, you know. So let me be a hot take. I don't think an 18-year-old really understands the importance of being married. I'm gonna be so froze, y'all. I don't care. In religion, out of religion,
I feel like there's nuance to the situation. Imagine being with the same person I was at 14. That personally sounds like hell. And I feel like in their early 30s. Remember, nobody forced him into this. These are decisions that he's made along the way. So it's like we have to hold him accountable. We have to hold the man accountable. Instead of deciding to leave like he said he wanted to, he decided to cheat.
Desmond trying to gaslight us is to like try to justify why he cheated on Kristy and why they're getting divorced is low-key kind of insane and very telling on like I feel like that whole relationship. I don't want to be parasocial because I don't know those folks. All I know is that they've been together for a decade and a half. He cheated and now they're getting a divorce and everyone is heartbroken. I mean befuddled. That man wrote a novel talking about I wanted to divorce back in 2025 and that didn't happen, so one thing led to another. I did some things I shouldn't have done and I cheated and now we're getting divorced for real. You could have left. You know, that's what's wrong with men, and that's honestly what bothers me the most about the situation is you have been with that woman for a decade and a half and talking about, well, I wanted to divorce. If you wanted to leave that bad, you could have packed up your stuff and left, but you decided to stay. You decided to give her any little glimpse of hope or faith that something could happen, something could be better, like y'all would fix it and y'all move on. Y'all had been together for a decade and a half after all. That's not like a crazy hope to have given your husband is still entertaining the fact. And I really hope that there's young girls watching this unfold. Those girls that are trying to hold on to a boyfriend, trying to go to college, throwing college away, throwing opportunities away, trying to hold on to these men because...
I love how she worded this. I'm pretty sure there's outside of situations that made it seem like, okay, I need to stick it out with my family, have like a really big following. Income comes from is their relationship. Whose decision was that at the end of the day? I'm not gonna hold his hand through this one. Like, imagine laying down with somebody for 14 years and then they come online. Oh, well, I wanted to leave her last year and she wouldn't let me leave and I cheated after because she wouldn't let me leave. Like, do you know how freaking embarrassing that is?
Some of y'all might not like this, but honestly, I'm not shocked about the whole Kristy and Desmond thing because she was really annoying. Imagine being in your 30s and stumping around your house around your spouse in heels, just making hella noise, just stumping around like a little kid. Imagine that, especially when you just want to have a nice, peaceful, quiet evening and you got your spouse running around clamping heels and just running around like a goddamn maniac.
If it wasn't for her clamping those heels, they wouldn't have no money. She was the entertainment. Pretty sure half of this stuff was not real, skits or whatever. That was bringing in the views. Just her being creative is what brought people in. It's what made people interested in their relationship. Would people have watched it was just him cooking? It was very, very freaking entertaining. Let's just keep it a buck. She's very entertaining. I was entertained. People were entertained. Without all the extraness, we would have been bored. And I bet it wasn't annoying to him when that money was coming in.
And imagine you trying to cook and then she slams her hand down in the flour and the eggs and make a big mess. See that? I'm surprised he was even able to hide his emotion behind the camera because that would have really sent me over. I just feel like that man got tired and he just got so annoyed to the point where it's just like he was done.
People who have this take, it doesn't seem like you're in touch with like reality of the situation. That's what bought the money and views, and that was their job.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. This whole Desmond and Kristy thing, if anybody else think that cheating is ever acceptable, then I feel sorry for you. Now, with that being said, what is one thing of somebody, your father or mother always tell you as a woman? Never let a man tell you he don't want you more than once. And he said it in that separation. Now, what he should have said, he should have worded it differently. He should have said he wanted a divorce. That's what he should have said. He was trying to have his cake and eat it too. But I just think, man, they fell out of love. He fell out of love. And he should have just moved on instead of kept dragging it out. But we all know what it was for. The love of money. That's what everything comes down to. They love money, so they're going to continue to work it out. It was all nothing but money. But he should have just been a man and just ended the situation.
Anger in a hard season does not consent to disrespect. Period. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. I'm gonna see you guys soon. Bye.